Flave City fam, what is up? It is Art and Bobby back in our second home, the grocery store, for a video all about healthy, low sodium foods. Because one comment I keep hearing in all the haul videos we do is, Bobby, you always focus on the fat, the amount of sugar, the amount of calories, the quality ingredients, but you never talk about sodium. That's really important for people who are watching the sodium intake due to kidney disease or high blood pressure. So this video is all for you, but to be honest, it's really for everyone, because a lot of stuff in the grocery store, especially frozen and middle food aisles, can be loaded with high amounts of sodium. But I also want to teach you in this video that just because you find a low sodium food, it doesn't mean it's an automatic go. You got to look at the other ingredients, like are there preservatives, excess sugar, and what kind of oil they're using, you guys. It's very, very important stuff. So we're going to hook up everyone, and I'm going to teach you about the best quality, highest quality salts at the grocery store, the ones that don't spike your blood pressure. Before we do our thing, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, all of those great things. But the most important thing is a bell icon right below the video. Enable all notifications, because we have so much content going live, including the live stream on Friday night. You're going to want to get a push. You're going to want to hang out with us. You're going to want to make a recipe from start to finish, because it is a lot of fun. Let's start this video in the frozen food section, a section known for having a high amount of salt. But the frozen food section blows me away these days. We've done at least 4 or 5 frozen food hauls the last 3 or 4 months, and man, the food in these cases now is healthy, next level, and good ingredients. I think about frozen food when I was a little kid, it was garbage. Now it's really high quality. Now, I'm gonna make this really easy for you guys. If you want a high quality, good ingredient, low sodium frozen food, the most accessible and biggest brand on the market is Amy. Amy does it right in terms of ingredients, and she has quite a number of low sodium options. And when you see something that's lower in sodium, it's typically gonna have about 25% less salt than the regular one. But I'm all about quality from start to finish. So even though I'm looking at low sodium products, I want you to see products that also have good, healthy other ingredients in terms of the right fat, no preservatives, no filler. So let's just start with Amy's vegetable lasagna, which is another Seinfeld reference, right, Art?
That's right.
We're on a roll today.
That is my apple juice.
Very good. So Amy is fantastic because everything's organic, and 90% of the time she uses the right oils. So it's a lot of ingredients here, but I immediately am drawn to organic pasta. If you're gonna eat pasta, it should be whole grain. It's not gonna be for lasagna, that's fine, but it should be organic, otherwise it's sprayed with glyphosate and Roundup to dry out the wheat plant. So organic is a must because they can't spray it. But everything else is 100% real. The only oil in here, let's try to find it, is extra virgin olive oil, which is so hard to find. Now let's go to the sodium. Sodium is 280 milligrams, and the serving is 269 grams. Now, keep in mind, there's about 2,400 milligrams of salt in a teaspoon. So while I typically in the past don't think about 1 teaspoon of salt as too much, people who have to watch their sugar or their salt intake because of high blood pressure could see that as a lot. The reason why I like this is if you compare it to the regular Amy's, right here, vegetable lasagna, this one has way more salt. We're talking about 790 milligrams versus 280. So this is your choice, but it's also your choice over most any other low sodium frozen food option, because the other ingredients are clean as can be. To see a product with extra virgin olive oil is very rare. It's usually expeller pressed canola oil, or heck, even sometimes canola or soybean oil. But any product she makes, watch, I can grab the enchiladas here. Any product she makes is always best in class ingredients, which blows me away. Enchiladas, ingredients. Organic corn, so it's non-GMO, all real ingredients. Now this is amazing. So it's not olive oil, but it's the next best alternative. It's expeller pressed, which means it's not highly processed, and high oleic, which means it's a heart healthier fatty acid profile, safflower oil, and it's organic. If you're gonna have those kind of safflower, canola, soybean oils, they have to be organic and expeller pressed, and high oleic on top of that is amazing. So Amy's is available everywhere, Walmart, Target, scoop it. Now before we go to the next low in sodium food, I wanna talk about consuming the right sodium. So let's take a trip right over to the salt aisle. If you're watching your sodium intake because you have high blood pressure or kidney disease, the type of sodium or salt you cook with is extremely important, right? A lot of the stuff we're talking about today is prepared stuff, but if you cook your own food, you're in control about, number one, the amount of salt you put in your food, and number two, the kind of salt. Now, I used to always cook with this. kosher salt from Morton's. Now keep in mind, kosher doesn't mean a rabbi blessed it. Kosher just means that it is the size of the crystal, and that's really good for, for cooking because you can pinch the crystals. The problem with this kind of salt, the problem with iodized table salt, in my opinion, is that these are bleached, processed, refined salts. So what they do, they want to get rid of all the trace minerals in there, so they bleach it. They put anti-caking agents here, and it's highly refined, so it pours out easily. If you have high blood pressure, this is not the kind of salt you want to use, because this salt will actually spike your blood pressure because all of the other trace minerals are bleached away and all you have is pure sodium chloride. Pure sodium chloride is, my friends, what spikes your blood pressure. So I would not cook with that. What would I cook with? I would cook with unrefined salts. And right now, I have a couple favorite ones and one that you guys are always going to know about. So these kind of salts here are completely raw and unrefined. This is from the Pakistani region of the Himalayan mountains, pink salt. We know about that. It's pink in that color because there's over 70 trace minerals. This is from Brittany, France. It's Celtic sea salt. This is the fine brown salt, and I love this one. It's gray salt. It's kind of coarse and chunky and has an amazing flavor. So not only is this kind of salt more tasty, but because it's pure and unrefined and has all those trace minerals in addition to the sodium chloride, it does not, repeat, does not spike your blood pressure as much as the white processed ones. So please cook with this, control the amount of salt you want to use, and you're good to go. There are some great prices for this stuff, especially pink salt on Amazon. I'll leave the links down below, but try it. It's not only good for you, you're gonna love the flavor. Let's take a quick break from the video and thank a longtime supporter of the channel, Audible. Listen, I am really busy these days between Art and I being in the grocery store all the time, Rose Honey, working all the time. I don't have time to read books anymore, but on Audible, I've been listening to audiobooks left and right while I cook, while I'm at the gym, while I'm driving in the car, and one of the audiobooks I'm listening to right now is by Samra Nosrat. It's called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. She is a fantastic chef, and that audiobook is fantastic. And Audible's great. And right now they have an awesome promo code just for Flav City family members. You can get a 30-day trial membership that includes 1 free audiobook and 2 free Audible originals by going to audible.com/FlavCity or texting Flav City to 500-500. Here's what's great about Audible. Not only do they have so many audiobooks to listen to, but the features of being a member are next level. Every single month, you get a credit for a free audiobook and 2 free Audible originals. If you don't use those credits for some reason, they roll over to the next month. And get this, if you buy an audiobook and you listen to it and you don't like it, you can return it and get your money back. And if for some reason you cancel your membership, you get to keep all the audiobooks that you've already bought for eternity and beyond. So you guys, it is a great service. Once again, go to audible.com/FlavCity or text Flav City to 500-500. The link is down below in the description box. Audible is a big supporter of the channel, and we love them. Thank you guys, appreciate it. I've talked about bread a lot on this channel. If you know me, you know that if you're gonna eat grains, they gotta be whole grains, ideally sprouted bread. But every time I do a bread video, someone says, Bobby, will you please talk about the salt content? Well, let's do it right now. If you're gonna eat grains, you wanna eat whole grain bread. Better yet, let me close the door, because I know some of you guys get upset when I do that. You wanna eat sprouted grain. And this brand, Food for Life Ezekiel, is the best bread on the market. Why? We look at the ingredients. Everything is organic and it's sprouted. There's no filler, it's all thriller. And why does sprouted matter? In case you haven't heard me talk about it a bajillion times, sprouted grains are soaked in water till the tail forms. That is very good for you because number one, it's easier on your tummy to digest and your body derives more nutrition from it. But the bread also, my friends, has 75 milligrams of sodium per slice, right? Not a lot, but we can do better. I just spit on your hand. I've been spitting on Art a lot lately. I'm sorry. Occupational hazard. Now, this is what you do. You go to, I just saw it, where is it? Oh, right here. The Ezekiel low sodium bread. How many milligrams of salt does it have now? A big, fat, whopping. There it is. See, it fooled Art too. 0. That's what you want to get. This is by far the most nutritious bread on the market. And come here, Art. Art and I are noticing something new at Whole Foods today. They lowered the price on a lot of stuff. If you see an orange tag, it's a lower price. How much lower? This actually surprised me. Raise the Vanna curtain. Nope, nothing there. Raise.
It used to be free.
This one. There we go. It used to be $6.39. Look at that. Now it's $4.99. That's the same price, if not better, than Trader Joe's.
So like the Showcase Showdown, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking. I was going to say raise it Vanna. The Vanna turns the wheels. Showcase Showdown would be, or Price is Right would be more accurate. But guys, it's an amazing deal, amazing quality bread, and no salt. Winner, winner, bread dinner. Now, I don't really eat canned soup, but I know a lot of people do. That's why we did the canned food review a couple months ago. And I just saw something really interesting, right? You got to be careful with canned soup because it can be a sodium bomb. Well, let's compare a couple lentil soups. This is a no salt added organic lentil soup. You want to get organic lentils, otherwise they could be sprayed with, they can be really high in glyphosate, which is the active ingredient in Roundup. You can't spray it with Roundup if it's organic. Now, this is interesting. The whole can only has 35 milligrams. That's literally a tiny pinch of salt. But look at the ingredients. Everything looks pretty good here, right? But we talked about the quality of ingredients. I see a little bit of cane sugar there, but I see organic expeller pressed canola oil. How much sugar is in here, by the way? We're talking 3 grams of added sugar. That's just under a teaspoon. That's actually a little bit high. Now, here's the deal, right? We're talking about other ingredients. Don't just be seduced by the level of sodium. So if I go over here to my girl, Amy, once again, Amy does it right 98% of the time. And I pick up her light in sodium lentil soup. It's not gonna have no salt. It's gonna have 540 in the whole can, which is pretty low for canned soup, but compare the ingredients. This one has all real ingredients, but you don't see expeller pressed canola oil, you see extra virgin olive oil. And how many added grams of sugar do you see in hers? A big, fat, stinking 0. So, this is what I talked about in the beginning of the video. We read about all the ingredients, so you might just pick up this. See, there's no salt added, it's organic, boom, put it in your cart. No, I would not do that. I would get this because extra virgin olive oil is a low inflammation, heart healthy, polyphenol rich oil. Expeller pressed canola oil is a little bit better than garbage, but not quite garbage. It's not good for you, and the almost teaspoon of added sugar in here, sugar gonna increase your blood pressure, kills the gut bacteria in your tummy. Bad news. Go with the Amy's, but more importantly, when you're looking at low sodium items, look at the other ingredients and make sure they're using good fat, no filler, and no sugar. You guys, check out the canned food section here. This is the coronavirus effect in real life. Half of the canned beans are wiped out. The water was almost completely sold out. We're hearing that pickles and mustard are going low too. Who knew? That could actually be a good combination. Canned beans, pickles, and mustard. Sounds delicious. But you want to be careful when it comes to canned beans because of salt content. So check this out. This is, I'll pick up kidney beans here. These are organic kidney beans. Very important they're organic. I'll talk about that in a second. But these say no added salt. And sugar enough, when I look at around here, I see 5 milligrams of natural sodium in here. And that's important because if I come over here to regular organic kidney beans, we see they have 85 milligrams. Now, guys, that's still not a lot of salt. That's literally a pinch of salt, but for someone who's really watching their salt intake, it does make a difference. Now, it's very important because I would get the no salt added beans and then put my own Himalayan unrefined pink salt on there because beans by themselves that are bland taste terrible. A little pinch of unrefined pink salt or unrefined Celtic salt will add a ton more flavor and not spike your blood pressure the way the regular sea salt does, right? And the reason why you want to always get organic beans, whether they're kidney, whether they're, ooh, another good song. Is this Rob Thomas? It's really good. Organic lentils is because beans score high in glyphosates, right? Glyphosates are the active ingredient in Roundup, and you really want these to be organic because organic beans, organic produce can't be sprayed with Roundup. All right, let's go find another low sodium middle aisle option. One of my favorite condiments that I always have in the pantry is tamari. Tamari is basically gluten-free soy sauce, but it's a fermented soybean product, so it's tons of flavor, or the Japanese call it umami. The problem is it's also high in sodium, talking about 980 milligrams for a tablespoon, right? So what I always have in my pantry is actually the reduced sodium one. It's not terribly less in salt, right? We're talking about 700 milligrams, but it's still less, but it's one of those ingredients that I love to have, and I don't have soy sauce in my pantry because soy is made from wheat. We don't eat wheat or grains in the house. This is wheatless or gluten-free soy sauce. Very, very tasty, and I would always make sure it's organic or non-GMO because once again, it's made from soybeans and you don't want that Monsanto-laced GMO. Let's move on. We think of salty snacks like potato chips. Well, this is an unsalted potato chip, something I've never seen before, but what did I say earlier? If you're looking at low to no sodium foods, it's also about the other ingredients. So these are unsalted potato chips. I prefer they were organic because potatoes are a dirty dozen member, but I'm concerned also about the oil they're frying it in. They're frying it in safflower and or sunflower oil or canola oil. It's like, oh, we don't know, it's one of those three. That's a problem, right? Because yeah, it's low in sodium, but when you're using an oil like that, we've talked about it a million times, those oils are highly processed agricultural oils that are terrible for your body and highly inflammatory. I actually don't see a low salt chip here, so what I might do instead, come down here, I always gravitate towards this one. This is a Himalayan pink salt, and even though this potato chips have a 1 ounce portion with 115 milligrams of sodium, it's that unrefined, it's that pure pink salt that's not going to spike your blood pressure. Very, very important. So if you know of another reduced sodium chip, just make sure it's fried in at least expeller pressed organic canola oil. If you can't get that, get the pink salt one. And then I see out of the corner of my eye here, reduced fat and reduced sodium popcorn from Whole Foods. So reduced fat, I'm guessing they just use less oil to pop it in. But this is interesting because we compare the salt on this is 85 milligrams, to the regular one from 365, and we're talking 190. So it's a pretty big difference. And look what they're doing. They're doing it pretty right. Instead of using regular sunflower oil, they're using organic, non-GMO, expeller pressed sunflower or safflower oil. So that's really what you want to see. If they're not going to use avocado oil, which very few people do, you really want to get a low sodium popcorn popped in good quality oil. Now, there are better quality oils. I mean, I know for a fact, like, wow, even the coronavirus effect is going up to popcorn here. This is crazy. Like, here, this is a cool Iowa company. Heirloom popcorn is easier for your tummy to digest and it doesn't get stuck in your teeth, which is really cool. And they're using, oh, this is the cheese one, hold on. We don't want the cheese one. Here's the butter one. So they're using, oh man, they're using sunflower oil. They normally put avocado oil in here. Times are tough, man. Wow. If you can find the one with just avocado oil or coconut oil and a little bit of salt, that one's good too, but man, I better stock up on this stuff too. I don't want to be left at home watching coronavirus-related Netflix shows with no snacks. I can't think of anything else to talk about. Art, anything to add?
No.
That's what I thought. Yes, that's it. The low sodium review is done. It's not as easy as just say, hey, oh, it's low in sodium, I'm gonna grab it. You really gotta look at the other ingredients for optimal health because that's what it's all about. These videos are a beast to make, but we do it because we love you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. It's pretty much the only way this channel grows. We got 2 more videos going below us right now. But Art, we'll see you soon. I will see you soon. Until then, we leave you like we always do. Hashtag keep on cooking, mad love, and peace.